All right, now, Pink.
Yes.
It's been a lot of moves going on in the NFL, man.
Mostly at the quarterback spot, but today they dropped one.
Yeah.
This would hurt me, man. It really did. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I really like watching this guy play, and I just feel it's just not a great move.
You know, so, of course, I'm a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan, man. Going way, way back in the day, the Priest Homes, all that good stuff, man. And, yes, they traded Tyreek Hill for the Kansas City Chiefs to the Miami Dolphins for some draft picks. Let me just say, because of where we're at in the NFL, and I talk about it every week, because of that, and I'll get to that in just a second, I love this trade. Unfortunately, when you pay your quarterback, you can't keep your best players. Excuse me. That's just the bottom line, folks. That's why I say these young quarterbacks, they better win. Like Joe with Cincinnati, that doesn't excite me any much, because if you're good, you better win early. That's just the bottom line. That's why we haven't seen Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl. If you wonder why, that's why we haven't seen Russell Wilson again. That's why we haven't seen Patrick again. That's why we haven't seen, like you just go down the fucking line. Once you get that huge contract where you're number 1, 2, or 3, or 4, top 5, top 10, we're not going to see you again in the big game, because you have to lose your best weapons on offense and defense. All right, you have to decide. And as far as if I was going to decide I had to let go because Patrick is earning so much money, Tyreek Hill is a prime candidate. I'm gonna tell you why. Number one, he's just not that great elite of a receiver to me. As far as the money that he wants, Devontae just got a huge deal, and Tyreek wants to be the number 1 paid wide receiver in the league. And he's not a top 5 receiver in my eyes. All right.
I don't disagree with that.
He drops a lot of passes. He's not a crisp route runner. He's just very fast. But the way they defend Patrick now with the cover 2, if you notice, last year Tyreek didn't take a lot of balls over the top. It was a lot of underneath stuff and beating people with speed when he did get away. But notice the first year or two, they were going up for bombs, 60, 70, 80 yards. You didn't see a lot of that last year. And that led to a lot of slow starts from Patrick and the Chiefs and stuff like that. You're like, what is wrong with Patrick? Well, they're defending him differently, and the receiving court that he has is not built for what the defense, the cover 2. Cover 2 is underneath. You need possession receivers that go 10, 10, 10 like Tom Brady is known to do. I'll attend you to death, and we're just going to possess the ball. But you need weapons like that. And Tyreek is just not a weapon like that. And he's a one-trick pony, if you will. The best one-trick pony at what he does in the league. But we need more versatility and for a guy that we can pay that much money to.
I agree. My bigger issue with this, I do think he was still a good fit with Mahomes. He needs a big arm quarterback, and I think Miami's just not the spot.
Well, he's going to find out.
Tua is not the guy.
He's going to find out. But and it's a two-edged sword, right? Because as a player, you want the most money you could possibly get. And as an honest fan, a good fan like me, I'm not angry. Like, he's going to get his money, and that's great. Get your fucking money. You're a wide receiver. You're not going to be in the league a very long time. Once you're not fast anymore, it's over for Tyreek, right? So I want him to get his money, but he's going to find out very quickly, and then he's going to get frustrated, and he's going to get me out of here. But hey, you have to know, like, come on, man, you're in the NFL, like, you know what Tua is capable of. You know he can't pass.
Well, bear in mind, this was a trade.
Ago.
This wasn't a free agent signing.
No. Yes, technically, right?
Okay.
But him and his agent has gave them a list of teams. Like, this has been in the works for weeks.
Okay.
Right. So he gave him a list of teams he'd be willing to go to. The Chiefs granted his release. That was the terminology they used. So even though it was a trade, it technically was like, hey, we're letting you go to wherever. Who
else was on the list then?
It was only 2 teams actually. It was Miami and New York Jets. Miami New York Jets. But that's because those 2 teams had kind of under the table told him, hey, we will make you the highest paid receiver in the league.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's all money move, no.
Yeah. It's all money.
No respect for it.
Huh?
No respect for it.
But he deserves his money. He wants his money, and he's gonna get it now. He'd be the highest paid receiver in the league.
But like what you said though, then that contract strangles you.
Yeah.
That contract, because it creates an expectation that you ain't going to live up to, and that'll strangle you. That'll take the joy out of participating in football for you.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to match that. The guys that are better than you are going to have better numbers, and they're going to look at it and be, oh, that guy's still the highest paid guy in the league.
Right.
You know, and that's just, I mean, that's a deal with the devil, really.
It really is,
what
man.
it is, you know. But if that's what you need, then whatever. I just don't.
And the Jets would have been a god awful move. But you know what? Though I'll tell you this. Because what's that quarterback name over there? He's actually
Zach
not
Wilson.
that terrible.
I mean, he had a couple moments in his rookie
He
year.
had a couple of moments.
You don't know enough now.
You don't know enough, but I probably would take my chances with the New York market and Zach over Tua, knowing Tua this is his last year. Like, this is just Tua's last year in Miami. You know that. And the tricky part about Miami is them giving up their draft picks. They're giving up their draft picks knowing they have to know Tua is not the guy. So what are you going to do after this year? Like, you're giving up your draft picks, and the Chiefs get so much for Tyreek. That's crazy. They got quarterback compensation for Tyreek.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A few first rounders, second rounder, and a fourth round. I'm like, damn.
But this will definitely be one of those things that 3 or 4 years from now, who are those players that are drafted and what are they doing? You know, and if the Chiefs, I mean, that's the reality. If you look at it, if the Chiefs parlay these picks into like 3, 4, like, consistent contributors, maybe an All-Pro, then you look at the trade and say, God, that worked out great. Yeah. And maybe it allows them to refurbish this roster.
It does. We have so many fucking holes. It's not even around Pat. Yeah. We don't have any defenders.
But like you said, though, once you're paying Pat what you're paying,
that's what happens.
The only option is bargain basement free agents or drafting. Like guys that are on rookie deals. Now, again, the formula to high level success is the quarterback on a rookie deal. But if you can nail a bunch of draft picks, that changes the fortunes of your franchise too. It builds depth, it fills holes, all that stuff. So, I mean, if you really, I think I reacted emotionally because I like Tyreek there. I like him with a big arm quarterback, and I just don't think he's going to have the same service in Miami. But now that you say if he did it for the money regardless, and he picked 2 shitty teams to go to, and then on top of that, the Chiefs can maybe build better around Pat, the Chiefs probably made the right decision.
Yeah, true that. All right.
Are these picks like this year?
This year.
All of them or part of some of them?
From what I know, 3 of them for sure are this year. The 2 first and the 1 second I know is this year. I'm not sure about that 4th rounder. But, yeah.
So the Dolphins won't pick a player to like the 3rd round?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
For Tyreek. We got a quarterback compensation.
Take the first 2 days of the draft off. You don't even need to be in the war room. Guys, go play golf, do whatever you want, get out on your boat. But we ain't doing anything until day 3.
I don't know, but Miami is one of those teams that had a lot of draft picks, though. They had a lot of draft picks, so I'm not sure what they're looking like. I don't want a Miami Dolphin fan coming in the comments like, well, no, we still have X amount of picks. I know they racked up on picks a few years back.
Right.
And so, they could still have a couple more. So
let's hope so for them.
They're like, screw it, man. Let's just go all out and get this receiver who can only go 50 yards down the field, but our quarterback can only throw 10 yards. All right.
I was going to say, like they had Jalen Waddle as a rookie. And
they're very similar.
He's not. I don't think he's Tyreek Hill fast, but he's a fast guy.
Yeah.
But all of his production was short stuff.
Yeah.
I had him on my fantasy team. Like he was a 6 catches
bubble
for
screen
52-yard guy.
I don't know. Yeah, they have 2 guys like that. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with that.
Yeah.